How many other people on this site can say that they use NHS COVID test booklets to prevent lens flares? British ingenuity. Or rather, not being able to move the freaking light. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to something called Black Rose, which I presume has something to do with the rather odd horticultural specimen. Anyway, this is a horror game I found on Steam, which is apparently a few years old and had absolutely no control setup, so I don't know what the interact button is. I just know that we have some very, very grubby wallpaper. Or better than the freaky wallpaper of Brenda. But, yes, it seemed to be a few years old, so, if it's been around on Steam for that long, and people haven't shouted it off the site yet, then it's probably decent. It's my way of hoping that it's decent. And I really hope that it is decent, because I've been through an awful lot of really bad games recently. Okie dokie. So I believe I'm a mortician. So Gideon. I'm not quite sure what happened then. I believe I'm a mortician, so I'm an undertaker sort of chap. Just the sort of thrilling career that every little boy or girl thinks about. Is someone else here? And I think I'm exploring a mansion of some kind that has had everyone in it go missing, along with all of the furniture. Naturally. Okay. So let's just keep exploring these doors that I can phase through, because you know that's the primary skill on the CV of any good mortician. Who made the spooky laugh? Wouldn't think many people would be laughing at a mortician. I don't imagine they crack the best jokes. Boss says not to go near Myatral's coffin. What a name. Why won't the gravediggers bury it anyway? It's not like what Boss says is true. I mean, the dead can't really talk, can they? Well, a dead man can tell some very interesting stories if you watch any sort of police investigation programs, but I somehow get the impression that's not what you're talking about. It's jammed. I might be able to force it open. I will need to ram it a couple of times. Press and hold space. Okay. Oh, I'm just going to thrust into this door. Don't mind me. I'm just going to really thrust into this door. Oh, that's good. I needed a good explosion after a nice hard thrust. I've been needing some of that. What with the dry spell from COVID and such. What is this? Some sort of a what are they called? Cybecos? Those little sort of weird. Oh no, it's a baby monster. Yeah, sorry, the weird sort of. I can't even know. It's like a walkie-talkie before walkie-talkies were a thing. Okay, so I have a baby monitor. So, a church. Why is there a church in this mansion? Why do I get the distinct impression it's going to involve something culty? I'm sorry, what? What did you say, madam? I didn't quite catch that. I only caught the letter D, and that was about the lot. Let's not even go there. Right, this door is warped pretty badly. I don't think I'll be able to get it open. What is this? This is the family room. Of course, this is where all of the lovely joyous things happen, and none of the horrible things happen. This is the bit of the horror game that's family friendly. Unlike the vast majority of my humour. Alright then. Oh, down here, into the dirty, grungy, forgotten tunnel-esque basement. Alright. What am I going to find down here? We're going to find a nice baby. Just wanted a little chat on the baby monitor. Random side point. Why are baby monitors so expensive when they are essentially walkie-talkies that you can plug into the wall? Surely a walkie-talkie that was just wired up to a 3-pin would be just as effective as a baby monitor. Or maybe there's more to them than that. I wouldn't know. Yes. Her eyes. Don't look her in the eyes. Alright. Don't look at a book of good grammar either. The other baby monitor is down here. This is weird. I'm not sure I want to be here anymore. Something feels wrong. What's that? What's that weird grey thing? I have no idea. It could be a rat's bum for all I can tell. Okay, I don't think I can have the other baby monitor. So, is this that coffin they were talking about? Is that where they were saying the dead can talk? Because they were talking on the baby monitor? Seems a little odd to leave a baby monitor in a coffin room. But alright. That floats your boat. Stay here with you? But madam, I'm busy. I have work to be doing, and jobs to do, and videos to make, and sandwiches to eat, and all sorts of other very important things that I never seem to get around to doing. Alright, where's she? Kitty, I've lost the coffin already. Oh, goodness, I wouldn't be a very good undertaker, would I? Alright, I'll stay here with you for the grand total of 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Right, there we are, that's enough. I've fulfilled my quota. I fulfilled my sit on top of a coffin quota, and definitely not disrespect the dead by rubbing my bum up and down on it. Okie dokie, job done. Let's shut that. What's going on? I think you, like every other protagonist in a horror game, has hired a dodgy electrician. How is this door locked? I know it wasn't earlier. Really? Because I'm pretty convinced we didn't come through this door earlier. Hello? I'm sorry. Sorry, that was probably supposed to be scary, but she just seemed so happy. She's like, hello! Oh, friend! That woman, where did she go? Well, after seeing me, I imagine she goes the same place that every woman who meets me goes, and that is away. But, she seemed very happy about something. I'm not quite sure what it was, but she seemed most joyous, which is certainly an improvement. So, yeah, here we are. Is everything alright? I assume it's the same woman, judging off the rotten colour of her skin. I would certainly imagine that that's who she was. Not to mention that, you know, she seems to be a ghost from all the disappearing that she's so very good at. Either that or she's just a magician. Alright. Again, I'm pretty sure this door was locked earlier as well. If you say the same thing about this one... No, you're not going to say anything about that door. Alright then. Can we find the church? The chapel. Here we are. Whoa, 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 whoa. Keep away from my bum. Thank you very much, madam. That is just strictly off limits to ghosts. Goodness. I really need to stop checking the recording every 5 seconds and actually pay attention to where it is I'm going. Oh, goodness, I think I've just found a dead end. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. You're very tall. I'm going to die in a minute, aren't I? Would this woman kindly leave me alone? Which is not a sentence I've ever had to say before. Is she still following me, or is she gone? I think she's gone. Good. Now, I saw some writing on the wall. The writing on the wall says I should have given up on this channel years ago, but that's not the point. The writing on the wall in the chapel said something. I think it was written in blood. They stitched him back together. Okay. I don't know who you're referring to. You're clearly not referring to that woman. Are you referring to somebody else? Is there somebody else I should be terrified of in this place? I can rattle. I can go on about absolute prattle as well, but I can rattle the box, but that doesn't seem to get me anywhere. Alright then. Okay, so... crises averted, for the time being at least. That crazy bum-biting woman has kindly left the building, and we can get on with our lives. I have amassed a score of 144 points. Excellent. I've never been quite so proud of myself. Alright then. So it seems the doors haven't unlocked themselves now that I've managed to escape this woman. So let me wander around for a minute and see if any of the doors are open. See if we can figure out where I'm supposed to progress to next. Ah. I see. A shiny golden key in the coffin. Really? That's the thing you're bothered about? I'm more bothered about the fact that they haven't actually lined the lower part of the coffin, which means they clearly had a lot of respect for my shoulders and the back of my head, but they didn't care about my feet. My feet need to be comfortable in the afterlife as well, alright? Can I leave through here? I don't think I can. I think I need to lose her first. Alright then. Kitty aunt. Right. She really just appears out of no place, don't she? Why is she so tall? Why is she so intent on whatever it is under the sun she's trying to do to me? Why am I so... Wow. Wow. For a free Steam horror game that's like 5 years old, that was actually a surprisingly good jump scare. I'm impressed. I'm cheesed off because I think I've been put right back to the very freaking beginning, but never mind. Alright, let me see where we're at and I'll get us back to where we were before. Yeah, we're back to the beginning. Oh, balls. Okay, I have managed to escape her clutches, and I've discovered that there is actually a circuit you can go around in order to avoid her a bit. There's a circuit right here. Yeah, you can just sort of go around this part of the basement a bit. Which I'm not convinced is going to work brilliantly. In fact, to be honest, I'm pretty convinced this is going to backfire. Do you know what? I think I might go the other way. You know what? I think I might go upstairs. Yeah, just feeling like upstairs is the good place to go right now. Oh gosh, I don't like that noise because it means she's close. This was the wrong way to go. This was the wrong way to go because this bit is the dead end. Madam, please, leave me in peace. I don't know who you are or what you want, but whatever it is. Oh, thank you. Right, please just tell me that I need this key to get out of the front door and then I can leave. I mean, please don't, because that would make for a very short and interesting video, but never mind. Let's just try and get out of here without that woman trying anything else. Kitty, aren't you mean this key doesn't go to this? Presumably then it goes to the front door, perhaps? I don't know. Right, where does this key go? This is just the empty room. This door is locked. Does it maybe go to one of the rooms in here? Well, not one of the rooms in here, just the room in here. No, this is still locked as well. Unless it opens that chest. Do you think it opens that big box in the chapel, perhaps? Maybe that's what it does. Yeah, that's still too warped to open. So maybe it opens this box. Hooray! The only way to keep my troll in her coffin for good is to lock it. I thought I had locked it before, but somebody else must have unlocked it. Either that or the lid was forced open. There's a key in here, labelled... Let's stop trying to pronounce the name, because frankly it's probably quite offensive. I don't know what that name is, and I don't know how you pronounce it. I just know that the way I'm pronouncing it is probably wrong. Okay, I presume she's going to try and assault me again. And I also have a little question. If we're going to try and lock her in the coffin, doesn't she have to be in the coffin when we lock it? Just shutting the coffin and then locking it isn't going to work. Is she in there? I should probably do what the note said and lock it. Silver key left from the coffin. V, room 1. It's not my fault, madam. Do I need the key? No, okay, I don't think the key is there. Okay, good. I think I already have the key. Good, industrious little undertaker that I am. I've already picked up the key. Oh, gosh. She's mad at me. What? Yeah, oh, gosh, the thrusting again. Right. I don't really want to be thrusting while a woman's coming up behind me. Now, if you... It's alright, madam. I know my content's that bad, but you don't have to cry at the sight of it. She gone? Don't feel like she's gone. I'm not asking you to speak to me, but I made something for you today. At first I thought I was going about... No, hang on a minute. I thought about going out and picking you the prettiest flowers I could find, but decided not to. Flowers are beautiful, but eventually they all die, which begs the question why they're so expensive, but never mind. Instead, I made you an origami rose. Paper will never wither. Just like my love for you, this rose is black. Because the love we once shared is gone, just like my ability to read English. It was lost in the darkness, and there's no ignoring that. However, even if this love is no longer mutual, there's still one side that will never die. This rose is our symbol. I think you're trying to be romantic, mate, and you've kind of missed the mark a bit.
Full system lockdown enabled.
I'm sorry. Since when were we invading Arkham Asylum? Why do you need a system like this for whatever under the sun it is? This is like a cult chapel, isn't it? This is like a Scientology cult thing. And they're afraid of, like, police raids. Oh well, at least that means the video will probably be a decent length. Okay, fine. Just please tell me that's a checkpoint. I don't want to have to go through all of this again. Can I crouch and come in here? No, C and control doesn't seem to do anything. Right, what's this? This is the visitation room.
Ever since my first day working here, I've felt a little strange. Now, after what happened that day, things seem to be getting even stranger. I'd even go so far as to say creepy. I've been an embalmer for years now, and I'm very passionate about my job. I've always felt comfortable with what I do, so it's pretty unusual that I feel this way. 2 of my colleagues have died. I had to embalm them both. However, grief can't explain this feeling. Up until just 4 days ago, I hadn't even known about the history of this funeral home. I already knew that it was ridiculously old, but what I didn't know was that it allegedly harbors some kind of powerful aura which traps and torments the spirits of people who have died in a state of grief or fear, and have at some point been associated with the building in one way or another. These associations apparently include those occurring post-mortem, such as embalmings and funerals.
So, our Mr. Voice Actor here is very passionate about his work as an embalmer, which I believe refers to the removing of the internal organs after death. That sounds like a serial killer if you ask me, but then what would I know? V room, visitation room. So it must open the first lock. I don't know what you're worrying about. I'm not frightened or anything. I'm just doing my vocal scales, you know, just warming up my voice for a big performance. Can that noise go away? Can the smudges on my screen stop looking like darting shadows? I really need to clean this screen. Sir, kindly stop being so ethereal and floaty and get back on the ground where your contract says you will be. Someone's put a note on the board. Mrs. Raines, please tell your son to stop playing under the tables during funeral services. It's disrupting and upsetting to the grieving families. Today he also stole one of the keys to the visitation room and was later attempting to open one of the drawers in the morgue. This kind of behaviour is unacceptable. Begs the question why a child's at a funeral home, but never mind. And will not be tolerated. If you do not start controlling him, I will take it upon myself personally to teach him a lesson. Oh, good. So we've got a lovely meanie face employed here as well. Well, every good workplace should have a meanie face in it. Okay. I really wish that noise would stop. But never mind. Can I open either of these? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, a note. That's better than a jump scare.
Things even weirder. This place has a serious lockdown system. Yesterday was the first time I've ever seen it used, and many of the workers, including myself, were ordered to wait in the family room until the situation was taken care of. No one I've spoken to about it knows why it was done, or at least they won't say. All I know is that these safety glass windows and electronic gates appear to be designed for keeping things in rather than out.
Oh.
I was the first responder that day. Was the first and only person to make it to Myrtle's side before she passed away. She managed to give Sullivan a parting "I love you" on that baby monitor, but that was the last communication they ever had. The last thing she ever did was give me that piece of paper. It was a short poem she had written for Sullivan earlier that day. She asked me to give it to him, and I promised her I would. Then she slipped away. I guess Sullivan had picked up by Myrtle's weak rasping in the baby monitor that something was happening to her, because soon after she'd passed, he came running into the hall from the upstairs arrangement room. But he was too late. She was gone. That's when he broke down. I'd never seen him show so much emotion towards Myrtle before. Then, of course, the rest happened. I'll keep my promise, even now. That's all I can do for my dear friends.
Dear friend Myrtle. Myrtle. Right, sorry. I've never actually met someone called Myrtle. I've never even actually heard the name Myrtle before. Oh, saving. Brilliant. So that's the checkpoint. Spiffing. Okay. So my apologies. Myrtle is Myrtle. Right. Sorry. I probably should have realised that earlier. No? No, the voice actor was on a lunch break at this point. Alright then, I'll be the work experience boy and do it instead. There are lots of strange things I've seen around this place. For instance, the fireplace isn't even a real fireplace. It's some kind of ladder shaft, and there's a tough metal grate fastened over it that appears to be controlled electronically, most likely by the lockdown systems. I'm assuming the shaft leads to the basement. But it must have been sealed off because it is not accessible from anywhere down there. Another thing I've started wondering about is a metal handle that is sitting on Michael's desk for about a month now. I asked him about it once out of curiosity, and he avoided giving me a direct answer. He told me it broke off something. I had already assumed this, seeing as it's covered in dirt and rust around the edges, where it had clearly been attached to something for a very long time. Perhaps the biggest mystery I've encountered here is the place Myrtle always went for privacy. She was often depressed, so she was always going to the downstairs hall on her way to wherever it was she went to be alone. However, she seemed to vanish. The only place she could have gone from the hallway is down into the basement, but when I went down there one day to ask her something, I couldn't find her. I'm wondering if there is a secret room somewhere down there. After all, I did learn from Michael that this building is from the 1600s, long before it was ever a funeral home. Buildings as old as this sometimes have quite a few secret areas. Okay, so you're telling me that somewhere on the passageway to the basement there is a secret door? Or like a secret panel or something? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh, you're trying to tell me a hell of a lot. They still haven't buried him. Sullivan has been laying in his coffin for 2 days and Myrtle for 3 because Conrad refused to touch Myrtle's coffin after her funeral. It had to be put aside so Sullivan could have his. Conrad simply doesn't want to have anything to do with the burial of either of them, even if all he's doing is preparing a future grave without actually touching the coffins. I've started to wonder if he has some type of unpleasant encounter with Myrtle and Sullivan's coffin, or heard some absurd rumour about their corpses. And rumours about corpses are going to be anything other than absurd, as opposed to all of those utterly believable rumours about coffins and the baby monitors talking. Anyway, what's sad is that Myrtle and Sullivan don't have relatives who care enough about their burials to actually do something about it. Michael was embarrassed to have to tell all the relatives and friends that the actual burials can't be held yet. Even so, none of them objective. Maybe they just didn't see a point in doing so, considering the person they would have been doing it for is already gone. I don't know. As far as feeling nervous around the coffin, I do get a strange vibe in the visitation room. The atmosphere there is starting to feel different. The air feels heavier, a little bit oppressive even. It seems to be more noticeable today than it was yesterday. I'm not quite sure if I believe in ghosts or not, but it seems to fit what I've heard about locations having uncomfortable negative energies due to extremely evil, upset spirits. Maybe it's just normal stuffy air. There aren't any windows in there, and it is the middle of summer. Right, well, I'm glad the baby monitor shut up, if nothing else. I'm not quite sure all the sound has gone. I mean, I know I was complaining about that noise a minute ago, but this isn't exactly what I meant. Okay. Okay, so as it transpired, the reason the voice acting had stopped is because all of the sound had stopped. Because for some reason the game broke a little bit and it just stopped playing sounds. So I just restarted the game, which is why we've come back to a little bit before where we were before. So, yeah, for some reason the sound had gone, but don't worry about
It turns out that Devin got into the morgue by stealing Sullivan's key card from the office. Mrs. Raines had been in there and forgot to lock it when she left. Nobody knows exactly how the kid figured out the passcode, but considering what a flake his mother is, that's probably just something else she inadvertently compromised. They're burying Sullivan with a few of his belongings from the funeral home. I guess because he had worked here for so long and was so loyal to his job. Michael revealed that one of those belongings is Sullivan's key card. Of course, they would need to deactivate it from the system to avoid any breaches and the chance that it was stolen. But then again, Mrs. Raines would be the one who would do that. I discovered earlier today that Devon had stolen the system lock override key as well and hidden it somewhere in the building. This has got to be the most troublesome, ill-behaved kid I have ever encountered.
You ain't met half the ones I have. So you're trying to tell me that I need to find Sullivan's coffin and get some sort of keycard out of it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Alright, I feel like this game is expecting me, well, expecting the player in general to be a little bit more intelligent than I actually am. Grief-stricken man killed by train after blinding himself. Oh goodness, this is going to take a little while to read. 57-year-old Sullivan James, one of two funeral directors at the funeral home, was killed on Monday after he tripped and fell onto the tracks of an oncoming train. According to his co-workers at the funeral home, James was slipped into a grief-stricken hysteria just minutes after experiencing an emotional breakdown over the death of a childhood friend and co-worker, Myrtle, who had been suffering from severe brain tumours, which doctors had deemed inoperable. Miss Varnworth passed away 9 days after the end of her predicted death date. That's pretty depressing if somebody gives you a predicted death date. Anyway, James, devastated, apparently gouged his own eyes out using a scalpel from the funeral's home preparation room and managed to scramble out of a nearby window. Miles Treadman, an embalmer at the funeral home and a short-time co-worker with Mr. James, had begun to chase after the frenzied man through the field after the building, but was not able to catch him before he reached the nearby segment of railroad tracks and tripped, falling down on top of one of them. Treadman and a few other eyewitnesses reported that James made no attempt to get up as the train quickly rolled in. Grief-stricken Sullivan James was killed on impact. First fast-moving train hit him with such a force that he was severed into 3 pieces, and speculated by those who knew the man that his fatal episode was driven by guilt and not for treating his longtime friend how he believed he should have. My giddy aunt, those are some scary-looking doll people. The double tragedy at the funeral home has sparked a great deal of public interest at the site and has become an attraction for loitering and vandalism among young people, because loitering vandals really love grief-stricken blind men killing themselves, don't they? That's what all the kids are really hip with these days. In the 3 days that have passed since the incident, 3 arrests have already been made. They never buried either of them. They're both still here. Yeah, well, we know Myrtle's still here. There's something written on the back. More writing. Wonderful. They say that if you take his rose, he wakes up. That's the only way the coffin will open. I heard that he also tears you into 3 pieces if he catches you. What a good... What's a nice man. There's something under the table. There's something just everywhere in this place, isn't there? They won't find it ever. There's a key here labelled. Okay, so this is the second key to the visitation room. That's brilliant. Who's the little demon child? Who's the little demon brat?
All those attending the funeral service for Sullivan James, please gather in the visitation room.
Alright. Okay. Why does that voice actor remind me of the person who does the voice acting in the Grantchester Mystery Mansion of Fallout 4? Anyway, that's a completely irrelevant and uninteresting reference. Let's open this door and go to the funeral service. A bit bright for a funeral service, do you not think? They're a bit dark for a funeral service, do you not think? Kitty on. A bit dull for a funeral service, don't you think? Okie dokie. My word. You're a very pleased person with your spoon. Good for you. Why are there eyes in the wall? Why are there little eyes in the wall? Is that demon child here? Dare you, double dare you. If you dare me and triple dare me, that would actually be grammatically correct, but who am I to talk about getting the English language right? Okay, so the note said if I take the rose, an origami rose, yeah, he's gonna assault me, isn't he? So I should probably run away before he attacks me. Then mind you, he has been cut into 3 pieces, so maybe I should be a little bit more sympathetic about his inability to murderize. Oh! Brilliant. Excuse me, gents. Gentlemen.
Sullivan James was blind as a bat. Sullivan James fell down flat. Sullivan James is withered and blue. Sullivan James is coming for you.
Since when were funeral rites read out in rhyme? Since when was that a thing? That's a nice effect. That's a nice professionally done effect. I like that. I don't like this, but I like that. Would you let me out already? Hi. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious me. I was not expecting this. Would you let me out already? I don't even know who he is. I don't think I want to know either. Oh, gosh. Leave me alone, you crazy man. You can have your rose back. Oh, I got a key. I got a key. I think I found a key in a coffin. What a phrase. Right. Okay. So, let's just get away from this arm-flailing freak. And suddenly realise we've gone the wrong way and we're back in a dead end again. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on, dude. Just leave me alone. What I ever do to you other than steal your property, steal your prized possession? Oh, gosh, he ain't very happy about me, is he? Oh, look at my score. Look at my score going up and up and up. And then just what that means for my life expectancy going down and down and down. Oh, leave me alone, dude. Leave me alone. Oh, don't kill me, please. Something just fell where Sullivan was. What, you mean behind me or in the coffin? Kitty yarns. This is a lot more intense than I was expecting. Oh, the key card. Lovely stuff. Is the sound gone? Again? No, the sound hasn't gone. Good, 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 good. Oh, gosh. Okay, relax. Breathe. Everything's fine. Do I need the key card for this? Yes, I do, but then I need a key code. So I need to figure out what the code is, but I don't know what the code is. I'm looking for a 4-digit code, basically. Okay, right. Okie doke. Oh, goodness. Count the lines between the lines. What? So you mean like the lines that are made up of crosses? So, for example, the first one would be 2, then 6, then 4, then 4. So 2, 6, 4, 4. 2, 6, 4, 4. 2, 6, 4, 4. Access denied. Oh, goodness. That's not very good, is it? Oh, dear. 2947. 2947! Hooray! It turns out the circle's counted as one line, which I was thinking of a line as being a straight one rather than a curvy one, but never mind. They didn't save the game. Why didn't it save the game? I wanted it to save the game. Okay, so we're here in the body preparation room. I'm going to assume this is called. Okay, I don't know what we're looking for down here. I'm not really convinced we should be here. Okay, we need to have that all dramatic. I don't know why we needed that to be dramatic. So do I need to access one of these shelves, perhaps? Well, there's a note. Right, perhaps this will shed some light on the matter.
Everyone here is dead. They've all been killed. Ghosts in this house are not like ghosts in other houses. If they're looking for something specific, their corpses actually get up. Someone threw the lockdown switch and I can't get out. I finally found the override key, but I'm not sure exactly where the switch is. Although I might have an idea. I remember overhearing a conversation Michael was having a few months ago about something which was located underground. I'm confused as to whether or not this underground location is the main basement where Myrtle's coffin is. I went down there a while ago and looked around, but it appears to be mostly a storage space. Maybe I missed it. The basement is extremely dark, even with a flashlight. Maybe I need to go search again more thoroughly.
So, the override key, is that key card I found, or is that something else entirely?
I need to find the switch. My very life depends on it, as do the lives of many future wanderers if this doesn't stop. One of the most unsettling things about this funeral home is that after a while, you start to feel as though it's hanging by a thread and on the verge of collapsing, prevented only by the mysterious force that fills the building. It's such a strange feeling. Maybe I'm not the same skeptic I was before working here, but where is that damn switch?
Maybe you're not the same skeptic. Maybe you've become a raving...
This part of the house.
Maybe you've become a raving lunatic. Ah, well, that certainly helped me figure out which is the correct coffin to look at. Or not, because there's nothing here. Alright, lovely. I think I'm going to leave. I don't feel very welcome here, so frankly, I'm just going to up sticks and leave. Yep, am I allowed to leave? Yes, I am. Good. Saving! Hooray, hooray, hooray. Hooray. You again, ye little brat. Okay, so I need to find the switch. Pain and suffering has warped their bodies. What? What? X marks the spot. Here. So we've got like 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. So this is like a pattern of some kind. I need to find like somewhere in the house where this pattern's being replicated. Remember that it's on the right. Second down, leftmost row. Okay. I think I can manage. Oh, not you again! This is hardly fair. I can't get past you. Spooky face. It's supposed to be a bloke, but a woman screamed. But never mind. Spooky face. Yes, I know. I really wish this game had a faster restart button. Continue? You didn't say continue before. You said restart before. You're refusing me to do that. Yes, I know. Little brat is screaming again. Okay, so I think what you're supposed to do is when he appears, run out to the door. I think that's what you're supposed to do. But I didn't, because, you know, I'm a coward and I ran in the opposite direction. Okay, right, let's try that again.
No.
Yep, and we'll deal with this problem. Hooray! I'm free. I don't know what it is about this game, but there is actually something genuinely disturbing about the bad guys. Particularly this guy, who's like a cloud of withering limbs. Not so much about the woman who just appeared randomly, because she's a sort of a, you know, she's like a stock idea, you know, it's just a woman in a nightgown with a big grin on her face. Not the spookiest thing in the history of the universe, but a levitating cloud of writhing limbs that breathes very heavily is frankly a little more disturbing. And despite the fact that I've already died to them all a couple of times, they still manage to be a little bit spooky. So, well done on that point. Okay, so I don't really know what I'm looking for. Ooh, hang on, I've just had a thought. How were the chairs in the chapel arranged? Yeah, here we are. This one. There's a key under the chair. It's labelled system lock. Yay, this is it, the override key. This is, hang on, now it's all left to find a switch as the cheapest part of the deepest part of the house. Or could there be a place even deeper underground? What does this say? It's very important that everyone who saw or spoke with Devon the day he went missing come to my office immediately, as we need as much information as we can on his whereabouts and behaviour. If it helps, Devon would always become noticeably excited and start behaving suspiciously when he had plans of doing something or going somewhere he wasn't supposed to do. Alright, thank you, Mr. Child Psychologist Genius Person. Okay, so I've got the key. I now need to just find the deepest part of the house. So, is that just going to be where Myrtle's coffin is? Or is that actually going to be, like, under here or something? Because I still can't crouch, can I? No. Maybe I need to go out there at the end. But they were talking about, like a secret area at some point, like a place Myrtle would go to be alone. When they went down to the basement, she wasn't there, but I can't find any sort of secret doors or anything I can click on. The light within your eyes ignites me with a spark for... No, it is them for which I'll search forever in the dark. That's cheerful. So yeah, I can't find anything to click on or any like secret passageways, so unless it's in the basement, which is the possibility. It's like a secret wall or something, a secret doorway somewhere. Okay, so upon admitting defeat and looking it up, I have discovered that you're supposed to stand under the staircase and click. Even though I went under the staircase and clicked about 50 times, but never mind. What does it matter? Wait a second, I think there was a sliding door. It feels like some sort of spring mechanism. Really? Because I describe it as an annoying mechanism. But never mind. Sorry. I get that it's meant to be a puzzle and all, but in the deepest part of the house. I get that this is probably going to go deeper than the basement, but if you say it's accessible from the deepest part of the house, you imagine that's going to be in the basement. So you spend ages looking around in the basement, not on the ground floor. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to everyone else, but it don't make sense to me. Anyway, I kind of would have imagined it would have been like a secret panel in the wall, or a secret door or something, not just a secret bit of flooring. But maybe I'm crazy. Anyway, let's try to not be cheesed off about the game, and let's try to actually finish the game properly without being too annoyed.
This is it. Now I know where Myrtle always went for privacy. Now I know where the handle on Michael's desk came from. Devin must have been trapped down here and couldn't get out. It was only a little while after the search when everything went wrong. All I was ever trying to do was keep my promise. I only ever had the best intentions, but I've angered Sullivan. It was a mistake to touch that rose. This might be the last thing I ever write. I've left my notes all throughout this building in hopes that they might help anyone who happened to get trapped here. If that's the case, and you've made it this far, I'm sorry to say that I probably never made it out. However, I can tell you that I know for a fact the switch is down here. Once I flip it, I will leave the control key behind. If you already have it, then it was moved somehow. Nonetheless, there's one last thing I can give you, and that's a promise.
Promise from a dead man. That's worth
These
a lot.
tunnels are not a dead end. At some point, there's a ladder which will take you back up to the ground floor.
If only I hadn't come down here in the
I
first
don't
place.
know how far down it is, but I know that it's there. I always did feel a very faint draft coming from that fireplace. And sounds always seemed to echo down into it. After disabling the system lock, there should be a definite escape path. This air is stifling. Ever since Myrtle's death, the energy throughout this entire building has been growing more and more negative. My body is starting to ache. My stomach is becoming unsettled. Now I'm getting dizzy. This house has been collecting souls for so many years. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be torn down. If I never make it out, I'll just be one more soul it's claimed. I guess I do believe in ghosts after all.
Hooray, we converted him. Brilliant. Okay, so what you're trying to tell me is I find the switch and then I need to run through a maze. A maze that's probably going to require an enormous amount of trial and error in order to find the correct solution out of. Alright. Okay, I think I can deal with that. So I find the switch, flip it, use the key card, climb the ladder, go out the fireplace like Santa Claus, and then run out the front door? Okay, apparently we're not going into the massive vault. Okay, apparently we're not doing a heist at the minute. We're just trying to get out of here. Alright then, into the sewer system, I suppose. Okay, we're going to leave the IKEA store behind. And this weird robot face as well, we'll leave that behind. And we will look for this switch, I suppose. Further down inside we go, I suppose. It's beginning to remind me a little bit of Outlast for some reason. What's that music? I was enjoying that. I also wanted to get close to it so I could identify what it was. Oh, it was over here. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted to listen to that music and actually identify what song it was. But never mind. Such is life. What is that? Is that something important? I don't think so. Okay. Never mind. Okay, here's a note. Notice. The gates in this room may jam when open. Do not be alarmed. This is a common occurrence and we'll resolve it myself after about 10 seconds. We're sorry for any inconvenience. Am I forgetting something? The fuss? The fuse. The fuss. Stay calm, they must be around here somewhere. That's actually very nice. That's actually the sort of music I listen to normally. I feel like a monster's coming to kill me. I don't feel like this music is making things any easier. Who's it gonna be? The demon boy? Or flaily limbs? Or crazy girl? Would you please... Someone fix the record player! Someone tell me where the other fuses are, for crying out loud. I think I'm dead. Oh no. Is it... I'm sorry, what? It all happened so quickly. Oh, goodness. I would just like to state that I found every fuse in that room. Every single fuse that was visible to the human eye, I found. But never mind. Give me a minute and I'll get back to where we were. Can I just say that Shazam is a broken program? It never picks up the songs. Okay, apparently the last fuse was in the record player. Because that makes sense, doesn't it? Come on, open the door! Before we all die, that would be great. Oh, crying out loud. And now apparently I'm not dead, even though I self-evidently was dead. Alright. Trying to make out what they're saying, and I can't quite manage it. Oh, good, there's blood. Good. Needed a good spray paint of blood. I'd really like to turn the volume down so I don't disturb the neighbours. That's a bit better. Probably still really loud for you, isn't it? Yeah, I think so, but I think my lovely voice is still coming over the top of it. That's good. At least the neighbours don't shout. Hooray! We found the exit! Let's climb out of the... What? Oh. You want me to... Which do you want me to... I don't know if you want arrows or A and D, but... I'm dead again. Put me back to the beginning of the chase sequence. Don't put me back to the beginning of the basement, or I will scream. You can't get... I think you can only get that one last. Yeah, then when you click on the record player, once you've got the other 5, then it works. I don't get it. But I think I've managed to do it faster this time, so hopefully the jump scare won't get me.
Full system lockdown disabled.
Oh, Tom, thank you for actually telling me. They're saying Sullivan James something the front? I don't know. At this point I don't care, because this game is starting to cheese me off a little bit. Right, let's get to the ladder and see if I can figure out this quick. Okay, my hand is really starting to ache at this point. Oh, hello! Give us a hand, friend. Oh, goodness, 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 goodness. Front door, front door, front door, front door, front door. Run for the hills, run for your lives. Oh, gosh, please tell me that's the end. Please, because my hands are aching. As are my feet, and my back, and my brain, and everything else. Is that it? Are we going to get any sort of an ending? No, just the credits. Alright then, fair enough. Kitty arm. I'm not quite sure what to think about that, to be honest. I'm not quite sure whether to say I liked that game. Most of it was good. Most of the enemies were spooky. The designs were mostly original. I wouldn't have minded if the... Oh, thank you. Right, so yeah, the credits can tell me what the name of the song was, but the actual app that is entirely designed purely for the sake of figuring out what the name of the song is can't tell me. Brilliant. Yeah, I felt like the little demon boy could have been used a little bit more. I feel like he could have maybe been used a tiny bit more. I don't know. And I mean, the designs of the enemies were effective. The designs of the enemies were effective to the extent that, for the most part, I was still scared of getting caught by the enemies. But possibly what was playing on my mind at that point was more a matter of, because the checkpoints are relatively few and far between, that when you die, you go back quite a long way. So there is a sort of a stressful feeling when you're being chased, because you think, if I do get killed, I am actually going to lose something here. And obviously there's an argument to be had in horror games about resetting to only a couple of moments before the actual death means there's no actual loss through dying and there's no fear from dying, right? And I wouldn't have a problem with that, but this game is vaguely difficult. At least for a cretin such as myself it is. Which means that you die quite a lot. And since even the restart isn't fast, you have to go through like a good bit of loading screens just to get back to where you were. Or just to get back into playing the game even, before you can even start getting back to where you were. It just becomes a little bit frustrating because you have to sit around not doing anything when you're eager to get back into the game, and it kind of breaks the pacing a little bit. But what do I know? But yeah, the design of the environment was nice. It was sort of grungy, it was varied, it went into different sort of environments, it was relatively believable. There were some rooms that were never used, which seemed a little odd that they were there but not used. I still very much am against that thing under the staircase. That maybe I misread the clues, maybe I did, and if that's the case then I apologise. But to me, deepest part of the house does not mean stand under the staircase and click on the floor. It means find like a loose panel or something in the wall, presumably in the basement, because that's the deepest part of the house. But other than that, for the most part, the game was relatively spooky, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.